Largest selection of Blue Raider merchandise anywhere by shopping Raider Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, just before the bridge over Broad behind Chewy's.
Talk Radio WGNS, putting the power of your free speech into action, on air and online at WGNSradio.com. Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues, powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, MTE's charitable foundation, Sharing Change, is funded by members who round up their electric bills to the nearest dollar each month as a donation and support hundreds of local nonprofits. Find out more at sharingchange.org. Our friends from the Child Advocacy Center are here today, and Presley Hosford is here with us. Presley, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Brian. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, good to have you here today, and lots of things to talk about. First of all, kind of tell me about what you do at the CAC. You're kind of, I think what we're talking about today is right in your wheelhouse, isn't it?
Yes, so I'm on the prevention side of things at the Child Advocacy Center. My official title is Community Education Coordinator. And so I have the privilege of getting to connect with adults in the community and teach them how to prevent child sexual abuse.
Community Education Coordinator. So that would... I guess Darkness to Light kind of comes to mind.
Yes, of course. So Darkness to Light is my main role, where it's a nationally recognized training where adults learn the 5 steps it takes to prevent child abuse, recognize the signs of child abuse, and what to do if a child chooses you as their trusted adult to disclose abuse to.
So we're going to talk a lot about this, and there's an event called Light Up the Night, which kind of correlates with the educational piece, right?
Yes, it for sure does. So this was one of my favorite events we put on, our annual Light Up the Night event, where we get to light up the night for child abuse victims. And it's a night where we get to dance under the stars. We all wear white, hence to light up the night. We have heavy hors d'oeuvres, desserts. We're going to have a DJ with karaoke, and it's just a great night for community members to come together and support the work we do.
So what night is that, or what day?
Yeah, so it's September 8th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Oakland's Mansion. And we are currently looking for sponsors for this event. People sponsorship will support crisis intervention services for child abuse victims, child sexual abuse victims, and drug-endangered children. And then it also supports the prevention trainings I do, and it helps us keep it free to the community.
Oh, okay. Very good. More on Light Up the Night coming up here in just a moment, but I'm sure that this is an event that allows you to do Darkness to Light trainings.
Yes. So a huge part of my job is really getting to know the community leaders, the people who are working closely with our children. And so at this event, we invite all of those people, especially our SIPIT team, the Child Protective Investigative Team, law enforcement, teachers, anyone working with children is invited to this event. Even if you don't work with children, you're invited. But it's a great way for people to meet our team, connect with us, really learn the work we do, and how they, as community members, can also join us in preventing child abuse.
It's an important job, and I'm sure that if you could be somewhere every day to teach Darkness to Light, I mean, you would do that anytime, anywhere, with any group.
Yes, I even make myself available evenings and weekends for those who have busy, hectic schedules. And so daycares, churches, civic groups, whoever will have me, I love to be there with them. Yeah,
I would think that, to have something during the day, for instance, at a daycare, I mean, that's in their name, daycare. So, right. I mean, they're pretty busy during that time.
They are. And so for my daycares, I make myself available evenings, which shows how much troopers they are for spending their whole day caring for other children and then taking their evening to learn how to further protect children.
Right. Yeah, most certainly. Presley Hosford is joining us today, Community Education Coordinator with the Child Advocacy Center. And when we talk about a darkness to light training. Kind of give us an idea of time frame. How long does a training session last, and what will people walk away with?
Yeah, of course. So people have the option to take a 1-hour training or a 2-hour training, just depending on the schedule and the time allotted. Either way, you're going to hear survivors share their story of abuse to get more of a personal reference of how it affects children even into their adult life. And then we have a conversation of the 5 steps of what it takes to prevent child abuse. And this is really important because we need to be able to have conversations adult to adult to then learn how to have communications with children about their bodies and healthy boundaries. So if we can't have that conversation adult to adult, how do we expect to have that conversation adult to child? And so adults are going to walk away knowing that they are a mandated reporter. Everyone in Tennessee is legally obligated to report abuse, even if they're just suspicious of it. So I instill that in people. We also learn healthy communication. So maybe if you are a daycare worker and there's a child who you've noticed their behavior is just the opposite of what it usually is, we're going to learn how to recognize those signs, those behavioral changes in children, and then learn how to have open communication just to make sure there's nothing bad going on with a child. Or it could be something silly they're just upset about, but either way, we're being a safe, trusting, and caring adult and checking in on that child.
It's kind of amazing, but sometimes we I guess are a little apprehensive or just really don't know how to have that conversation. So I mean that's a key component to finding out if there is something going on.
Of course, yes. We want to break the stigma, and we want to support each other as a community too.
We have Presley Hosford joining us today with the Child Advocacy Center, and again, the Darkness to Light trainings. If someone is interested in having you speak to their group, I know school's about to go back in session and things like that, so maybe some opportunities there. How would they go about scheduling that?
Yeah, great question. And yes, if you are a teacher listening, I would love to be in your schools this coming semester. But you could give us a call at our center. That's 615-867-9000. And then they'll connect you to me, and we'll get that set up.
That sounds like a good plan. Something that just popped into to my mind about kind of a follow-up on maybe adults, intimidated is not the right word, but don't know how to broach that initial conversation. There's also many times that little voice saying, am I interpreting this correctly? And what questions to ask. Those are all important things I'm sure you kind of go through too.
Yes, of course. And we go with how to, we learn how to build that courage. So when you have that little voice in the back of your head that's kind of second guessing yourself, well, we're going to learn how to take the steps we've learned from the training and implement that instead. Well,
that is all obviously very important for anyone who works with children. I mean, that list is really long. You mentioned daycares and schools, but churches, just all kinds of different walks of life have a connection to children.
Oh, yes, certainly. And even if you're not a parent yourself and you're just a concerned adult who, wants to make a difference in the community, then this training is also for you.
And it's not like after the training you get to walk around with a badge and interrogate people and stuff like that. But it's just to have a general knowledge of, if you see something, say something.
Exactly. And we know that adult education is the key to preventing child sexual abuse. So the more adults that are aware of the problem, then the more children we can help grow up to have a safe and healthy life.
Presley, back to Light Up the Night, which is September the 8th, 6 until 9 p.m. at Oakland's Mansion. If someone has never been to Light Up the Night, what would you say the event is like. Maybe give us a description so they kind of have an understanding, because I think some people maybe get intimidated by, that sounds like a cool event, but I don't know, what am I supposed to wear, is it a fundraiser and all this kind of stuff.
Yes, of course. So it is a fundraiser, and it's honestly just such a beautiful night because of we're outside and inside of Oakland's Mansion, which is already a beautiful place. So we're so lucky we get to go there. And we have a silent auction throughout the night, so people will be able to bid on trips. We have maybe some facials. We have a bunch of awesome silent auction items that our list is also growing, so people get to enjoy that. Tickets are $125, but with your purchase of a ticket, you get 2 free drink tickets. And after that, it's a cash bar. So drinks will be there. Something new we're doing, we haven't done in past years, is we're going to have karaoke throughout the night. So that way we're trying to take our entertainment and fun to the next level so guests can enjoy themselves even more. And we have some great food from local restaurants that's going to be available as well.
That sounds great. Do you have your song picked out for karaoke?
Oh, no. I've been debating if I was going to do karaoke or not. Maybe, while everyone is leaving, I'll try to sing something.
The silent auction, you've got a lot of community supporters who, donate the trips or a facial or whatever that's there, and so that obviously helps. And you mentioned sponsorships. Those are the things that make events like this successful.
Yes, it does. And so we still, our sponsor list has started. We're still hoping for more people to support us, just because all the money goes back to the children we're supporting and helping heal through the victimization. And so it really is a great cause where we all get to come together and just have a fun night. And we know that this fundraiser, this event is for a good cause.
Sure. And the community education piece of the CAC's work, the prevention piece, is what you're directly involved in. But there are so many other moving parts to the CAC, and that includes, unfortunately, having to speak with child victims, but it's done in a process that hopefully they feel a lot more comfortable as well, and have someone trained in talking with children about it.
Yes, our forensic interviewers are highly trained. Our center is a very trauma-informed space, so that way, when children and families come in, we're making sure they're comfortable, they feel okay, and that we're not triggering them in any way. And our forensic interviewers, they interview that child victim in our office, and this session is recorded. So that way, if it goes to court or, detectives, police want to look over that case again, we can give them that recorded interview and leave the child out of it so they can continue their healing process.
So that means they don't have to relive what they went through, time and time and time again.
Exactly, because we know when children repeat the details of their trauma, it only re-traumatizes them. And so we just want to see them one time and one time only, so that way they can just go back to being a kid again. Yeah,
and begin that process, and it's obviously a process for parents or guardians that care for this child. I mean, they didn't go through the specific abuse, but I mean, it's a child. It's the child that they maybe are responsible for,
exactly.
And so there are things to help them along the way too.
There are, and our family advocates, they're really a shoulder to lean on for our caregivers that are bringing the children in, and they provide them with counseling and therapy resources, and they're there for them for the entire investigative process. And so our team does a great job of making these families feel comfortable and know that they're going to get the help they deserve.
So just to remind folks, and we'll have more opportunities to do that, but don't forget Light Up the Night, which is September the 8th, 6 until 9 p.m. over at Oakland's Mansion, and cacrutherford.org. I bet this got a lot of info on there.
Yes, so cacrutherford.org. You can go to our events section on our website, and you can see all the ticket and sponsor information there.
Well, very good. Presley, thanks for stopping in today and sharing about Light Up the Night and the work going on with the CAC, and I always enjoy it.
Thank you, Brian. I hope to see you there.
Absolutely. That is Presley Hosford joining us today, the Community Education Coordinator with the Child Advocacy Center. And just a reminder, if you missed part of our conversation, want to go back and listen to what Presley and I were talking about, check out the podcast at WGNSradio.com. Under podcast and Rutherford Issues. You can search us out on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, and more. Plus, YouTube TV. Check us out. Just search for News Radio WGNS.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home in Murfreesboro. If you ever had to deal with the final arrangements of a loved one, funerals are both